Alright, let's see here. Should be good. I think I've got everything set up. The bots don't seem to be awake today. But hopefully that's okay, as long as we are live and good to go. Hopefully everything is all set up. It says we're live, so we should be good. The bots just seem to be a little sleepy today, but that is fine. Everything should be good here. Hopefully it's working. Alright. Everything should be alright. Hopefully everyone is doing well today. Let me think here. So today's kind of gonna be a little bit more of a slow day. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's Stream Elements. They finally woke up. Today's gonna be a bit more casual today. Not 100%, but I still wanted to stream today. Still wanted to, you know, get some art done. So I saw the new trailer for the new Pokemon game, and I still really love Pokemon. I just don't have as much time to play the games as I wish I did. And I guess I'm just sort of moving away from it more than I want to, but I still really love the franchise as a whole. It's a huge part of my life, so I thought today we could do some fan art to sort of honor that, and I'm gonna pronounce this wrong because I keep thinking it wrong in my head, but the Terastal mechanic, I really love that mechanic, and I'm pretty biased to that with all of my crystal theming, right? But I wanted to see if we could do something in that vein. Also, hello Steve, how are you doing today? Hopefully everything is going well. I really love how they did it. I think they actually did a very great job with it visually. It speaks to me a lot on aesthetic standpoint, so I wanted to see if we could do something similar to that, sort of honoring that. So just for ease of argument, I'm gonna try doing it with Pikachu, because, you know, main character, main mascot, kind of an easier way to go. And we will see how it goes. So let's just jump right in here today. Go to our main scene here. Not gonna be chatting because I'm playing a game and doing great. Alright, sounds good, Steve. Let me make sure I have it all set up correctly here. So what I'm going to start by doing is just grab a dark color. We're going to try something different. You guys know that I've been working with the 3D models or a sketch phase beforehand, and today it's just going to be very experimental, very playing around. And we'll see how it goes. I'm really not sure what style I'm going to be working in. This is going to be purely experimental. So we'll start with a dark background, and it's going to be a little tricky for me, but that is okay. And I'm just going to grab a basic light color here that we're going to use for Pikachu. So I'm just sort of going to try and work with shapes and shadows today. I'm going to do my best to not be sketching anything beforehand. We'll see how it goes. I'm very familiar with Pikachu, so probably should do something a little bit darker. The other thing is, for this stream, I'm okay if things don't turn out great. I'm okay if things are a little bit wonky, because this is a stream where we're really just going to play around, right? We're really just going to play and experiment. I want to get faster with speed paints and such, and I just, you know, I want to have some pieces today where I'm not super focused on making all the perfect rendering. So that's why I chose Pikachu today. Instead of a corporate VTuber. I just wanted to really play with the roughness of everything and really try things out. Also, hello, hello Dolphin, and hello Murdoch, and hello Rowan. How are you all doing today? So, let's see. I want to make sure that I've got the pose in mind that I want to try to aim for. I kind of want to do like a Pikachu is either, like, usually jumping in the air in a lot of these poses, or sort of running on the ground on all fours, so I kind of want to do a little bit of a halfway thing, where he's kind of in the middle of an action. How should I do that? Let me see. Probably gonna have to do it the other direction. Probably gonna have to make the back leg the... Hang on. I'm kind of going with inspiration of a figurine that I have of a Charmeleon, oddly enough. Where he's kind of like kicking the back of the air. Let me see if this is gonna work, or if I should just, switch it backwards. I was confused when I clicked the stream. YouTube still says you're doing Sakura Miko. Oh, really? YouTube, come on. I think a lot of things are being, a little strange today. Because YouTube doesn't seem to be behaving, neither does Stream Elements. It's kind of a weird... Yeah, it's... Let me just make sure that it at least thinks I'm live. I mean, you guys are here, so hopefully we're okay, but... Why is it being strange? I do not know. Things are just a little weird today. Yeah, I don't know why it's saying that. That's not helpful at all. No, it's saying it on my end too. Why are you doing that, YouTube? I don't like this. Alright, let's see if we can save this again. I mean... The thing is, it recognizes I'm live, but it also doesn't recognize I'm live. What is going on here? I thought there was a way that you can... Alright, can I edit this live, or is that not going to work? This is so... Alright, give me a sec. It just decided to, like, throw out everything I did. That's awesome. Okay. Give me a second here. Ah! It didn't pick it up on Twitch either. What is going on with you? It's a day, guys. It's a day. Alright. Let me at least see if this works on YouTube. And... I don't know. Okay. It just doesn't even want to acknowledge the changes. It just, it's just sort of blanking. I don't know why. This should be fine. This should be edited. Now it has two variants. I don't know what it wants. I hate this. Oh well. Are we gonna behave, or are we still gonna be stupid? I think it's still gonna be stupid. Okay. Alright, I think that should be fixed. Alright. I don't know what just got blocked, but... Alright. You know what? I'm gonna make my life easier. I'm not gonna go with a crazy pose today. I'm just gonna go with something that is doable. We're just going to deal with what we can today, honestly. It'll still be decent. But, yeah, the title should all be updated now, hopefully. It is now correct. It blocked a perfectly normal word because part of it could be a method of self-delete. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't usually have it. I wish there was a better way to control it. I try not to make it crazy strict, but it sometimes picks up like words in the middle of another word, which I think is ridiculous. Sorry about that. All right. Can we just do something like kind of normal today, maybe? Alright. I appreciate you guys sticking around through all of the flaws and flubs and things. I think Pikachu's head might be a little too big here, so let's try and squish that down a bit. I also don't know if they want to have it like OG Fat Pikachu, or if we're going with something that's a little easier to draw in different positions. Alright. And let's grab something else here, because I have tried to get rid of that song on the playlist 5 times now. It's not a proper stream without scuff. You're very right about that, Rowan. You are very right about that. My goodness. Alright. Something like this should be good. And again, like I said, we're kind of going with a completely different method. So we're just sort of experimenting a lot today. I'm not at 100%, so you know, we're taking things easier. I'm kind of tempted to just sort of copy one of the poses that they have for Pikachu, because it would just sort of be easier and maybe give us a better result. I think I might just do that. I think I might just, make it a little easier on myself. So I feel like I don't really need to complicate things too much today. You know? But how's everyone else been doing? Hopefully you guys are having a better day. I'm having a subpar day to go easier. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just like, Guys, I was thinking yesterday, I'm like, oh, you know what? I really want to try this style, and I'm going to go all out, and I'm going to, you know, do some SAO fan art because of the anniversary and everything, and it'll be great. And then I woke up today, and I'm like, I need the easiest thing possible. I know how to draw Pikachu. I still want to do that at some point, but I probably need a lot more practice anyway. How many folds do you have in your tail? I think 1, 2, 3, yeah, that... Thought I had enough references, and I still don't. It's different depending on the version. That's not useful. Alright, I'm just gonna go with Sugimori's style then. Because if anything, I'll take Sugimori's version over pretty much anything else. 1, 2, and it kind of connects at the bottom, I suppose. It's when they try to translate the watercolor drawing into 3D that things get messed up. Yeah, that's fine. That works. Alright. Let's get a little bit of the face features on here, very roughly. I'm not doing line art. This is breaking down the face. It's different. It doesn't count. Wait. What am I doing? Something like this should be good, and I can be super rough with it because this Pikachu is gonna be terastalized, which in the new game basically means like extremely crystalline, which I was saying in the beginning of stream, I really love. I sadly don't think I'm going to have time to get and play this game. I just think I'm not in a point right now where I can justify it, but I really love the Terastal mechanic for very biased reasons. I'll probably do a... You know, if I really want to practice this style, I might try to open up, like... I'm not really at the point where I can open up more commissions, but I want to, like, make Terastal versions of people's, OCs or VTuber selves. I'm not really sure. I don't know, I really like the whole concept. It's very much within my wheelhouse. And I think the tail needs to be a little bit lower. Just a little bit. That should be okay, and... Composition-wise, I kinda like it better higher up, but it does work better this way. It does make more sense this way, I suppose. And then maybe I'll sort of tilt it just to... How do I want to tilt this? Just make it more interesting. Make it feel like it's balanced enough. Or maybe not balanced, depending on how I want to pose this guy. Yeah, something like that would be good, and then I'll just sort of see how I want to change the composition and whatnot. There we go. That's gonna be more accurate. These ears can probably be a little bit larger. Crystal Beast with Pokemon? Yeah, pretty much. I also really love the Crystal Beast cards. You're referring to Yu-Gi-Oh, right? I tried to collect all of the... I didn't grab any of the rare ones because they're too valuable, but I tried to get all the Crystal Beast cards. Because I'm extremely biased, you know? And there's not a lot of creatures similar to me, so... anything crystalline I'm going to sort of latch onto. Starlight gaming stream later on? No, probably not. I don't see myself ever doing a gaming stream other than like probably Gartic Phone at some point, but I just don't think I'd be a good game streamer, honestly. I mean, at least Pokemon is turn-based, so that would make it easier, but I just can't really see myself doing it. I don't know why. Maybe if I was doing collabs someday, I don't know. How dare I be biased for things I like? Setting up the Lady Red Discord? Ooh, that sounds exciting. You seem to be making great strides in that whole endeavor. Alright, I don't need to polish things up right now. We still haven't done, like, nearly enough yet. There's still a lot to do here. So let's keep moving. We've got our basic shapes down. And how many layers do I want to work with here? I think I want to give him like the platform from the trailer today. I really liked how they were like they had a Charizard that was on this big crystalline rock platform. I kind of want to put Pikachu on that and give him sort of like a stage. Like a stadium type thing. We are going super rough today with just like really just going straight down to color and form. Which I think is good to practice. I definitely don't do it enough, but I've been wanting my work to be a little softer. So I'm going to see if that can kind of help with that, I suppose. We shall see, we shall see. Something like that. I don't really care how much I throw things off between the background and foreground today. We're just, you know what, we're having fun. That's the main thing. It's like, we're having a ton of fun today. We're just playing around. We're just seeing what's going on. I want to, I want to have the occasional stream where we can just be super loose, you know? Just super loose, trying new things, and not really worrying about a perfect finish. Still getting something done by the end of stream, you know, I kind of want to make them more speed paint-like, but not really needing to worry about if they look great or not. Just something very, very relaxed, you know? If it comes out alright, then that's one thing, and if it doesn't, then that's fine too. Basically, TLDR, I don't sketch enough. I don't sketch or experiment enough, so I should probably be doing more of that. Honestly. I know, it's bad for an artist to not be sketching enough. You guys should not follow in that footstep. You guys should be sketching. But yeah, just sort of like getting out of my comfort zone and playing around here. Alright, I think I didn't leave enough room for the background color, so let me just sort of erase a little bit more here. Shiny Cinderace, hello there. How's everything going? I'm making slow strides where I'm sitting, but progress is progress, and I'm really happy that I'm still as keen to do things next year as when I first thought about it. Ooh, nice. Clearly we need 36-hour days. Yeah, true. True that. How else do I want to work with this? I haven't, as much as I really love crystal looks, I haven't had the time to really practice it as much as I want to, so this is gonna be pretty dang rough, guys. I guess, like, when I'm doing streams, I get a little more nervous to want to experiment, but I'd like to get to the point where I can use streams to experiment, even if things don't turn out as great as they could. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys just sort of prefer things to be more, what's the word? Predictable? How are we gonna go with this? Let's try maybe a glow. That could work. Still want to make sure I'm not losing my colors. And Pikachu needs something on him, or we're not gonna get too far. So let's just try playing around with some glow techniques to start adding some more color to everything. Start adding some more peaches, greens. I'm gonna go with sort of like a bit of a rainbow here, right? Because it's a sort of a tessellation look. Art looks great. Thank you so much, Cinderace. I really appreciate that. How's everything going? I hope everything is going well on your end today. That should start us off interesting. Kind of looks like a little bit of a soft glow, and then we'll be punching it up as we go, right? And then, all right, when the Pokemon are on their ground plane, there's sort of this power emanating from the ground, right? Where they're sitting. So we're gonna try a little bit of that. Kind of this very intense stance, right? Maybe a little bit of an underglow? That could look good. A little bit of an underglow here, right? Alright, now we're starting to have fun. Now it's starting to look like something. I learned so much just from watching you, and seeing what you do to improve your abilities is just as exciting as seeing you turn out a perfect piece. I am easy to please. I really appreciate that, Roan. Thank you. And I'm glad that that it can sort of help just to see the work. Guys, I abuse the these dodge and burn and add glow tools so much, but I want to have a lot of fun with it, you know? They're really, really fun to abuse. They work well in sort of, as long as you know, like, how you're using them, it can be really fun to use that for these effects. As long as you don't have to go too crazy with it, right? You have a little bit of a stability over what you're doing. Slightly, maybe. Alright. Now, we should probably start getting a little bit darker. So we're gonna have some darker shadows here. And just like a crystal or a diamond shape, you have some pieces that are like almost a near black. You have some pieces that are a little bit more mid-tone. And we're sort of just going, you see I'm kind of going around the edges, and I'm leaving the actual edge part right here. I'm just sort of casually adding some pieces, but leaving a bit of a barrier, since that's the part that's being reflected. And at this point, it kind of looks like we're just painting over the Pokemon, but if we sharpen it up, it should look alright. And then we'll keep adding, like, you know, different levels of color and different intensities. So right now this is only blue, so why don't we try, like, maybe a deeper purple? This is kind of a mid-tone purple, which should probably make one that's a little bit darker. This might end up being super messy by the end. We will see. I'm just sort of talking through my thoughts as I go. But in order to make the very bright look that you want in a crystal, everything around it has to be very, very, very dark. Which is why I think they did a really great job in the new trailer, where they have the I'm always gonna mispronounce this. Terastalized Pokemon. And then they sort of make the entire battlefield much darker, so everything shows up clearly. I thought that was really beautifully done. But I want to make sure that I'm adding enough color. Sort of want this to have a little bit of a more or less rainbow type effect. And if I can brave myself to work with darker colors, I will be in a better place. I'm not good at taking that leap. I'm not good at taking the leap with dark colors, but it is helpful when you get to that point. So I'm trying to use like a little bit of a darker Scarlet here. It's hard to get yourself to really push the values. It's something I struggle with a lot personally, and I'm working to get better at it. So we want values that are really gonna show up, right? Gonna lurk for a little bit? Alright, no worries, John. Also, hello. What is Terastal? It's this new gimmick that they're doing for the new Pokemon game, and I know this is gonna sound ironic because we were just talking about it the other day. But like, I was saying before, I don't think I'm going to, get the new game, but I am really, obsessed with the mechanic. For obvious, totally not biased reasons, where all the Pokemon kind of get like a crystallized look to them. So I'm very biased. I thought it was some kind of art term. There should be an art term for things that look like crystal. I would follow that art movement to the ends of Terra, if I could. I'm just sort of softening up the edges here, even though I wanted to really bring out that darker color. I still want it to blend with everything else. And let's see. This is so much easier for Pokemon because what they're doing is they're adding a texture to their models, and I'm trying to paint a 2D object. So they definitely have an easier method to using it. Thank you, Has. Also, hello. Yeah, I didn't actually... I just realized I forgot the balloons. Yeah, Terastalized Pokemon always have this, like, hat on them. And the flying type one has, balloons, and I just realized I forgot to add that. I kinda like it without it, but it's not gonna make as much sense otherwise. I'll add it. I kinda don't really want to add it, but I'll add it. Because otherwise, people are gonna ask why I don't have the balloons, why it doesn't make sense, blah 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 blah. So that's fine. I don't know why there's a red one behind. It doesn't really make sense, but whatever. It's fine, it works. It's a weird composition. So we've kind of got these balloon pieces, I suppose. Like I said, this is gonna be super rough. Alright. What is this supposed to be? Is it like a hat that looks like a cloud? Something? Something along these lines? I can't get that far with this other balloon. It doesn't go far enough, but that's fine. We'll add some loose definition on the sides here so they don't look like they're just floating. And we'll darken things up so that it still has that crystal look. Let's see if I can kind of make it go through the ears a bit, kind of have that transparency effect. What are you guys doing over there? Alright, let's get some darker pieces in here. Make things stand out a little bit more. Kind of add a little bit of a see-through. I don't really know what. It doesn't really make sense. You're not gonna be able to see this otherwise. It's gonna be a little too convoluted. Why is it 4 balloons? Why isn't it 3? 3 makes more sense from a design perspective. That's irritating. 3 just makes more sense to have, and instead they have 4. But my guess is it's for the 3D model use. Let's go to our add glow and have a little bit of our underlighting here. Something like that, I suppose. Ah. This hat looks so... I kind of prefer it without that hat, but... people would say stuff otherwise. They would say it's not right, it's not accurate, blah blah blah. And we don't know what the electric one looks like yet, so... That's not helpful. Also, why does it just look like an angry face for this, this symbol? It just looks like an angry face. They all have this. They all have the, angry face symbol. I don't get it. I sound like such a, I sound like such a, bratty Gen 1-er. Bratty old school Pokemon fan. Not gonna lie, that hat is ugly, not your fault. I'm trying to keep it accurate. Is it supposed to look like a gem? Why does it have Spider-Man eyes if it's supposed to just look like a gem? I don't get it. Guys, I don't like it. Yeah. I'm saying that I want to have fun, and then I'm like, I want to have like a serious result, and it's weird. You know what? It looks like a shower cap. Ugh. I chose this. I forgot that I would have to do the hat. I don't know. It is a simplified Spider-Man mask, Vesa. That is very accurate. Also, do what you need to do. If you need to nap before work, then, you know, no worries at all. I feel like I sounded defeated when I said that, but I didn't mean to. I'm not very aware of much of anything today. It's kind of just been a weird day, so... If I act strange today, if I'm acting a little off, please forgive me. And everything's fine today, by the way. It's just sort of one of those meh. But things are pretty much, are alright for the most part. You know, nothing bad going on here. We're getting the feelings of the balloons, at least. We're building up the balloon crystal feeling. Sorry you're feeling meh. Guess it's better than bleh, so stay positive. I will try, thank you. Yeah, feeling a bit both. Feeling a little meh, feeling a little bleh. More meh than bleh, but eh. Hey Salem, how's everything going? Welcome in, welcome in. If there's anything I can do, let me know. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, but I'm alright. Everything's alright. It's just, it's more on the physical side, so it's all good. Blech. Doing fine? I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you are doing fine. Thank you, Vessa. Alright. I think that's, so far we're getting a good base here for the crystal effect. I know I can push this further. I know I can keep going here with the colors. I think there's probably a better way to do this. I just, I need to learn what it is. And again, probably easier when all you have to do is, figure out your rendering settings. I forgot I even had that enabled. No? I looked at the picture you're drawing from and the hat looks, yeah. Right? It's just, yeah. Like, I really love the mechanic of a crystallized Pokemon, but I kinda hate that they all have to wear these hats. Like, I'm not gonna, I don't usually use strong language, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of really hate it. It's like they had something that was so good, and then they're like, but what if they all had stupid hats to do it? I'm not the biggest fan. Oh, well, that part of Stream Elements is clearly broken. It's like, yeah, we have this incredibly successful design. All the mons can be identified by silhouette. Let's ruin it, right? That's yeah, that's pretty much what it feels like. How far did we go with these? This is all in one layer. Alright, so I can raise these balloons a little bit more. Because I forgot to give them enough room for their stupid little, what do you call these? The, little balloon strings. Little diamond balloon strings. Why? I don't know. But yeah. Well, at least you guys understand that it's not my design. I am curious if they're, you know, I'm very curious if they're going to try to, like, make merch of these, how they're going to do this in, like, a toy form. I would be curious to know, like, what material they're gonna use, if they're going to try to do something like how they did for, My Little Pony or something when they had like the Crystal Empire. How did they do that? I want to say that was like half designed on and half sculpted. Alright, I'm gonna have to figure out why Stream Elements can't figure out watch time. I don't know how to fix that, unfortunately. But that is clearly broken. Give them awesome chest gems or wings or something. The sad thing is, I've seen people do fan art that looked, where they sort of had, like, their own take on it, and they would make, like Pikachu's tail would be, like, half, like, lightning right here or something. This would all just be, like, a pure yellow, and they would do the same with the ears, and it was kind of going off. Like, they had different ways of doing it. I think what they... My guess with the silly hats, as much as I think that they could have chosen so many other variants, is that they're just trying to pick something that they could apply to all the Pokemon, because they probably realized that when they did, like, the Mega Forms, it was a little too much. I don't know, that's just my hypothesis, because they did the Mega Forms, and that was, like, our first game gimmick, quote-unquote, and then it was probably, like, too much to... I don't know, there was probably something that just didn't work with it, because then all the other gimmicks forward were, like, just larger versions or hats that all go by typing. So, I'm sure it had something to do with that. I just think the hat mechanic is a weird one, but I also would imagine it probably has to do something with, like, recognition from a top-down view in a battle. They couldn't put, like, you know, gems on the chest, for example, because the trainer is behind the Pokemon. So, like, I can understand how it got to that point, but I'm still not happy with it. Like, I understand how they got there. I can pretty much hypothesize why it went that way. Doesn't mean I still can't complain. Alright, try to get a little bit of a overall continued glow here, sort of breaking up the triangles again. Maybe try to do a little bit more of a lighter touch on the face, try to make this thing really feel like it's glowing more. I might just also throw a filter on this to sort of sell the visual better, not gonna lie. Should I take a sandwich tonight or order a cheeseburger? My fate is in your hands, or pause. Depends on what form I'm in, I suppose. I guess I technically have to get used to the term for hands, because I'm used to saying pause, so. If it was me, I would personally be taking a sandwich into work, but you've also been working, like, very hard lately, with the crazy things that you've endured, so I want to say reward yourself, but it's also a matter of money saving. Yeah, that's a toss-up. I would lean towards making a sandwich. That's probably what I would do. But then again, I'm much more on the cheaper side when it comes to consumables like food, so I don't know. Sure, yeah, let's go with that. House dogs refer to our boss's hands. Hello, Senpai. I hope everything is going well today. I'm frustrated. I'm like, I wanted to be feeling, a little more on top of things today. And if I had, I was going to be doing SAO fan art. And now I really wish I had. At some point I will. At some point, I want to do this very rough style, where I'm not really doing any line art, but just sort of painting straight. And I want to do some, like, very dynamic, painterly SAO type piece in the future. Don't know when that was gonna be, but at some point. At some point, I suppose. I feel like I'm getting a little too far with this one very bright yellow, so I'm just gonna shift over to, something a little bit warmer. Try by more often, catch me doing SAO. I have to do one, like, every stream, just in case, for that one time when he's not busy. No, I genuinely, I was going to do that today. I was just, like, last night, I had the feeling of, like, I really want to do this. Lillian, thank you so much for, subscribing on YouTube. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I was just thinking last night that that's what I wanted to do, but, fate had other plans today, I suppose. At some point we'll do that, though. I feel like this Pikachu is almost on fire. And it looks a little more stained glass than crystal at the moment. I recognize that Lillian? Oh, you guys know each other? That's really cool. Did someone say on fire? I... Do I have to assume what you redeemed, Vessa? Do... Why do you do this to me? Why do you pick the worst times? You definitely do this on purpose, I swear. I... Like I said, if I am off today, I apologize. Why? Yeah, that's great for Hello, welcome to the stream. I do Pokemon impressions. Please don't run away immediately. I need to find I need to mix this in with some darker colors. Because otherwise it just sort of looks like I'm doing some kind of, Tony Stark thing in the middle here, and that's not intentional. Murdoch. Do they? I don't know. I don't know about that. I think that that might be limited audience. All right. I think the Pikachu is starting to actually come around here. Though I still should probably be changing up the color to be a little more accurate, refined. Am I missing any colors here? Am I missing any color to hold this together? Because I'm just sort of randomly drawing triangles at this point. I'm not actually sure what I'm doing to hold things together. And it probably needs some more yellow here. There we go. Okay, now we're starting to get somewhere. It was feeling a little too orange. And I think I need to warm it up with some more effects, because I just really like to abuse these, clearly. I just really like to abuse these crystal effects. How much do I have to, don't know, for my best VTuber semi-impression? I would have no idea. I would have no idea how to do that. Oh my goodness. I can't do that on the spot. I would have no idea how that would work. No, I really wouldn't know what to do on the spot, please. But I think we are getting to a good place with our Pikachu here. Starting to clean up the edges on each triangle. Starting to go for... We're still brightening things. It's easy, just yell at chat. How to do the senpai impersonation, turn the sorry jar into a switch. There's no sorry jar, I have no idea what you're talking about. Terastal Starlight win? I actually would love to at some point. I was thinking that this would actually be a really fun commission offering, just because, you know, it's very on brand for me, right? It's very on brand to do crystallized, terastalized variants of things, right? I don't know. I'd have a lot of fun doing it. I could do like Hoseki no Kuni versions. I could do Pokemon type versions for more fuzzy creatures. Terastalized Thorn Scale, that would be fun. Each individual spike being its own little diamond shard. Do I have dark enough colors? I don't think I do. I think I've sort of destroyed the dark pieces that I still need, so I'll go back and add those. Oh dear. Oh boy. Thank you, Senpai. Alright. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Hang on, hang on, hang on. I'm not gonna yell at chat. Alright. Let me just think for a second how I want to do this. My chat is full of wind-up what? Wind-up merchants? I don't know what you mean by that. But, alright, how do we want to do this? How are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do this? Alright, so, we're gonna go over to the board here, and, you know, anyone who is an artist, listen up. Anyone who is a gamer, listen up. You guys need to pay attention to this person, okay? Because this person is doing all of their streaming on a USB. Do you understand? They're doing it all on a USB. And 1000 IQ idea here, chat. We're going to use this USB. We're going to take this part of the stream, and what you're going to do is you're going to be making shorts and TikToks of this, okay? Do you understand? Shorts and TikToks. We're going to be making shorts and TikToks. If you're an artist, I want you to be doing speed paints. If you were a gamer, I want you to be taking all of those clips from your shorts, from your VODs. I want you to be working on YouTube. I want you to be restreaming on Twitch. Do you understand, chat? Let me know if you understand. Also, what are we missing here? Oh my goodness. That was interesting. Perfect. I could tell who that was without even knowing the context. I do not have my thoughts in order right now at all. But yeah, in all honesty, like, I think my favorite part of your streams is when you can, like, how do I say this? I think my favorite part of watching your streams is when you get very excited for, like, individual ideas for specific people. Like, if people are doing things, with guitar, or if they're doing things with USB, and there's sort of like a knowing how to sort of help them go further with that specific thing they're doing. I think that's, like, I think that's the part that I really enjoy the most. is seeing how certain rules can apply to like very specific cases. I don't know, I really like the excitement level. I feel embarrassed saying that, but there's a very wholesome part of that. Be out of norm people. It's just really fun to see, like when you say 1000 IQ idea, that's when I get really excited, because that's always something that's going to be, like, very, very interesting and specific and out of the box. And that's what's always the most fun to see, I think. If January marked out to binge watch Vtuber Senpai, need to do some heckin' learning. There you go. Also, I think everyone here is probably already a student of Senpai, but if not, Murdoch, if you're here, can you just give a shout out for Senpai's channel real quick? If there's anyone here who is not part of Senpai's community and is wanting to be a VTuber, please definitely check out VTuber Senpai. Murdoch might be away at the moment. So I'm gonna do the same thing that you've done in your streams. It's on my to-do list. I'm pretty sure that most people here are from Senpai's community, but if anyone here isn't and wants to check it out, definitely consider checking it out. Alright, we're going for pretty much a pure white at this point on the Crystal Pikachu. I think that there's still more that we need to play with color-wise. I think that, it's still not quite hitting the depth that I'm after. I shall indeed peruse his digital wares. Pretty much making the feet unrecognizable at this point, which isn't super helpful. I watched somebody's VOD yesterday looking into testing out Twitter. Yeah. Oh, by the way, Thorn, I did look into the Android thing because I'm also suffering with you. And they are apparently going to release it very shortly after it goes out onto iOS. They don't have an ETA on it, but they are saying that they plan it to be not far into the future. They won't give a date, but it's at least in their plans to not exclude us entirely. I want to give us some money. I'm definitely willing to look into it. I think I would probably, like, you know, again, test things out first. But I'm not opposed to it, that's for sure. Alright, I think we've got... I'm still not hitting the depth part that I need. I'm definitely getting there, but there's a lot more that needs to be done in terms of, like, the shadows and highlights and things. Because right now, it looks very mosaic-y, it still looks very flat, I think. And I still need to emphasize how this hand actually works. Give a little bit more curvature to the body. The tail is kind of flat on its own, so I guess just a little bit more variation there. And I still have to work with this dumb hat. And we're... You know what? Alright. I'm just going to sort of make this entire thing darker. And the reason for that is because we completely lost the underglow. The underglow technique that we established is sort of lost entirely, so I'm gonna hit this with an overlay, so it's got a little bit more intensity. I want to hit a little bit of a glow on the ends of the cheeks here, sort of get the whole thing a little bit sharper, and then see if we can still pick this up. It might be a little too late, but what I'm probably gonna end up doing is darkening the underside, or darkening the shoot. Let me see if I can bring that back. Where were we on it? How did this go? How did this go? Where did it come from? We didn't paint over it entirely, right? This is what I'm missing. This is what I'm missing. Okay. Hang on. We are going to work with our contrast. I know I told you guys that this whole thing is experimental, but I'm going to make this work if it kills me. We're gonna bring this back. And it's okay that we're going over all of the triangles because it'll create depth anyway to go over it again. Again, super experimental today. Let's try to bring that to a multiply level. And I think the background got a little bit too light as well. Alright, that will be better. I kind of like how that's a darker color though, so... Alright, okay. Alright, this might work. Or at this point, I'm just throwing on so many effects that we can't tell what's going on, which is also very possible. I'm burying this poor creature in overlay effects. That's definitely creating a stronger effect. Let's grab a lighter color here, and let's focus on the bottom area. Getting this very sharp triangles here on the bottom. And again, we're kind of building up on the whole thing. You know, we're kind of... creating layers within it. So that it looks like it's... it looks like it's 3D, and it looks like it's a little bit see-through. You see how I'm, like, going over it in different parts? You see there's, this part is sort of overlapping... This part's overlapping this area here. It's creating a level of depth. So it's okay that I keep going over this a million times, because it just makes everything look fuller. At least I think that's the effect we're sort of getting through. This poor hand needs to be refined more. ZYC, hello there. Or, do you pronounce your name, Zeke? Either way, hello, hello. Angel Mech, hello! Long time no see, how's everything going? It's lovely to see you again. How's everything been? I'm attempting to make a, crystal version of Pikachu. But long time no see. I feel like I'm almost using Halloween colors at this point, but that's not intentional. I do not intend to use Halloween colors here. It just kind of turned out that way. I might need to shift that around so that we don't have as much red. Let me see if I can shift that a little bit. There we go. That's a little more Pikachu color, a little less red intensity. What else do we have here? Oh, that actually looks very nice. I actually might keep that. I like the underglow effect, but I think this is more powerful at the moment. I think I'm gonna go with that. It reminds me more of New Year's. I do like the underglow, but I think that this piece is calling for something different. Pika looking good and glowy. That's good. That's good, I suppose. That's where we want it to be. Alright, I should probably start getting to the refinement here because I'm going a little, insane on all of this glowiness. Although I also have to repeat that in the balloons because I haven't achieved that yet. Let me see if I can just quickly throw some glowing in the balloons here. And yeah, I'll work on the edges and everything, but just a little more color. It's gonna need a little bit of a darker area as well, but just something to let it hold on. And then, can I reuse a multiply layer? Do I have one here? Yeah, I'll just reuse a multiply layer in the inside. In both the green and the red. So we're creating more of an intensity. There we go. The balloons kind of look like Chaos Emeralds from Sonic. I can see it, I can see it. Oh my gosh. I'm happy that so far this seems to not be like totally out of whack. And then it looks like the strongest element that they're using is the edges here seem to be like pure white. And I won't forget the red cheeks or the eyes or anything. I'll make sure not to forget that. But I just want to get the edges to be very intense here. Sort of framing around the whole thing and creating a little bit of a, what do you call it? The outer rim, rim light. Creating kind of a rim light effect here. You can actually, if you have a pure white right on the edges and your inside of your subject matter is a bit darker, you're creating a rim light effect, like the sun coming from the edges. And it's not super accurate with a crystal, because that's sort of reflecting, right? But it does create a good visual effect, even if it's not as scientifically accurate. So it might not be a 1-for-1, but it's gonna make things look a little bit sharper, I feel. A little sharper and a little cleaner. I don't want to do it too much, just to sort of border the edges a little. Because I still want that darker color to show through, to show that there is an intensity with the contrast in this piece. And then the stage is also going to be made up, so that that is also more intense. But really hitting the edges is what's going to sell this. Scientifically accurate Pikachu. Had to step away for a moment to share that Starlight Senpai clip on every star. You did not, Thorn. You did not. I swear. The balloons look edible? That's an interesting way of thinking about it. Do they look like, what do you call those? Like a ring pop or something? Gotta get ready for work, but I'll be back for a bit before I actually have to go. Alright, I hope that you will be alright. I'm not sure if you were able to get enough rest in. Rock candy? There you go. That makes more sense. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna refine those edges a little bit later, but this actually is looking like a crystal effect, I think. Now that we've sort of limited this to the edges. This definitely helps us build that form. I'm fine, I don't need a nap every day? Alright, just want to be sure. You're allowed to be a lazy Roomba. It is a-okay. I want to make sure I don't forget Pikachu's eyes, and I also want to make sure that I don't forget the edge of this strange hat. Oh, what? The hat doesn't have a crystallized look, only the balloons are... This is so confusing. Only the balloons are crystallized. The hat doesn't have a crystallized look. That's strange. Well, I suppose the Spider-Man looking thing does, but that's about it. Alright, then we will push this to the, push this over to the balloons. Is it a new form from the new games? It is. I really like the crystal aspect, but not so much the way they implemented it. Because I'm not sure about the Spider-Man face, and I'm not sure about the requirements of wearing hats. But, you know, crystal version of anything I'm usually on board with. Just... yeah, this is a weird way to do it. And all the hats have this crystal Spider-Man form thing. I think this is also supposed to sort of have like a see-through effect, but I'm having a hard time telling. So I'm just sort of going to play it to the best of my ability here. Sort of make like a little bit of a sharp highlight on each edge. I swear, if this is supposed to represent a Pokemon or something... I don't know what they're doing with this. But the eyes almost have like a... I doubt it. I did hear someone say that it could be a, How did this work? I was hearing someone say that this could be an explanation for Diancie, from Generation 6. I don't know if they would pull it that way, though. But that would be interesting. I don't know if they would bring back that kind of connection. It's just, it's interesting to think about. Then again, I thought Sun and Moon would be all about alchemy, so what do I know? Reminds me of Sableye? Oh man, what if they brought that together? They could. I don't know, there's many connections you could make, I just don't know if Pokemon Company is, like, actually gonna work with any of them. But, yeah. It's strange. It's definitely strange, to say the least. Somehow Scarlet and Violet is all about making sandwiches. Well, I mean, Sword and Shield was all about, making... what was that, curry? If I remember... the latest Pokemon games, they're like, I know, we'll just make cooking mechanics. That'll please everybody. Constant cooking mechanics. It's like they saw the success from Breath of the Wild, and they're like, everyone gets a cooking mechanic now. Diancie is one of the strange Pokemon I never ran into Gen 6 and got in memory hold. was Diancie, like, actually available to catch? Or was Diancie, like, one of those, like, movie-exclusive Pokemon? Might have been a movie thing. Just don't know how to feel about this dang ridiculous hat, ruining the rest of what I have here. Nothing beats the Pokepuffs? That's fair. That's definitely fair. Where did we have our... Alright, they're just pure white, so... And just start adding the edges in pure white here. I feel like they should stop putting new Pokemon games for a few years. You know... Yeah, it's hard to keep up with, each new generation, but I wish they would make more, like, Arceus-type games. I didn't play Arceus, but I loved the concept of it. And if they do, like, Arceus, but for Johto, I will buy that in a heartbeat. I don't care if I have to sacrifice a little bit of time to play that. I will find time for a remake of Johto. I think Diancie was mythic of sorts? Yeah, Diancie was definitely mythic. I just don't know, like... You know, actually, I think Diancie was, like, one of those, like, store exclusives. Like a GameStop exclusive or something, you know what I mean? I think Diancie was, like, a GameStop or EB Games type. Don't know what they're gonna do with that these days. But I believe it was one of those things where you get, like, a card. Code card type thing. See if I can sort of lighten my hand a little bit on the balloons. Sort of make different variants of the shine here. Kind of sort of squish that, manipulate it a little bit. Get a little bit more of that rounded form in. I move the tail. Jeez. I feel like they should, remake Black and White 1 and 2, make part 3 in the style of Arceus. Oh, that would be interesting. Having, like, having it available, like, all in one game. I think, like, I mean, Black and White are definitely older, but they're not, I don't know, they might consider them the next remake game. Like, we had, Heart Gold and Soul Silver for the Johto remake, and that was a long time ago. And then we had, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And then we've had, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So they might make Black and White the next remake games, but I kinda want them to go back and work on Johto, but I'm super biased. I'm super biased to Johto, honestly. And I feel like Heart Gold and Soul Silver are like very old games in comparison now. In comparison. I feel the need to emphasize in comparison before people get mad at me. But yeah, that's personally what I would want to see. What about you? Like, what, for everyone else, what's your favorite generation if you play Pokemon? I am definitely not making this very accurate to real life because I am using both triangles and diamond shapes, and this definitely would not make sense. You gotta get going? Alright, John, thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Wherever you may be. Day, evening, or night. Gen 2 is also your favorite? Nice! Nice, nice, nice. Gen 2 representing here. Gen 1, I'm old. No, Gen 1 is, I mean, Gen 1's obviously classic. I'm never gonna disparage anyone for saying that Gen 1 is their favorite. You know, it's funny because I remember that when Black and White came out, it was most people's least favorite, and now there's a it sounds weird to say, so this isn't my wording, this is other people's wording. I've seen people have a nostalgia for Black and White, which sounds a bit strange to me, just because I consider it on the newer end. But, yeah, I don't know. Gen 5, baby. Alright. You're one of the people who have nostalgia, I suppose. And nothing wrong with that either. What am I even doing with these colors anymore here? Born. It's almost like I asked for it. I enjoy discussions of different generations. Doesn't mean I'm trying to oh, whatever. Oh, that actually works a lot better. Oh, wait, I like that. Combining different colors of different areas. Take some red, throw in a glow on the green, take some green, throw a glow on the red. That actually adds a very nice effect. I'm gonna have to start working on the background after this balloon. Otherwise we're gonna run out of time for the nice background. But this has definitely been interesting. This is like, you know, there is 0 lines and 0 sketch in this. This is just pure paint. So this has definitely been a very interesting experiment. Is there an audience on the background or just lights? What do you mean by an audience? Oh, do you mean like if it's in a battle? No, I was kind of just thinking like when you encounter one in the cave. That's sort of what the trailer was showing. So I kind of wanted to emphasize that Thorn would look good in a terastalized version, because the whole thing is finding these Pokemon in like crystalline caves. That would make sense. Pikachu got slapped with a rock type. It's actually the flying type, which is why these balloons look so ridiculous. Terastal is me, Sableye's cousin. Haldaean, Sableye is just Grendel. That'll be funny. Surfer Pikachu, best Pikachu? Very fair. Also, hello, Aiden. Rock balloons, yes. Don't think about it too hard. Don't think about the rock balloons too hard. Alright, that's a lot of fun here. Having a lot of fun making stuff glow unnecessarily. I'm gonna add a little to the edge, so it kind of looks like there's a bit of glow coming off each end. Going a little bit crazy on it to sort of blend it together. Definitely starting to bring this thing to life. Alright. How does make fly? We don't know. We really don't know. Let's get some details on Pikachu, before I forget. Let's get the mouth in, let's get the markings in. I think the tail actually probably needs a little bit more color. AFK, going back to lurk, gotta run off. Alright. Thank you for letting me know, Murdoch. The hat is bigger than it is. True. Are the I am not answering that. I don't actually know how the mouth is supposed to look. That's kind of a weird one. It's gonna look like teeth. I don't like that. Maybe something like that. Just to emphasize the difference between the front and the back of the face here. Just make it a little more subtle, so it looks like I didn't ignore it completely. There we go. I'm just gonna sort of soften that end. I almost forgot that we have these sort of stripe markings on his back, which I don't actually think the official model remembered. Or at least not from that view, which I feel like you would still see from that view, but well, maybe not. Pikachu has two brown stripes on his back that are sort of supposed to look like socket plugs, I think. And it doesn't look like they remember to, I mean, it's probably on the back there, but in the model, it doesn't show up at all, which is interesting. So I just want to add a little bit of brown here, so that we are not forgetting that marking. Apologies for blowing up chat, my brain struggles with this concept. No, chat has already blown up multiple times today, so you are all good. It is a-okay. Chat has already been on fire and on water. So you are all good. Remember Pikachu had a brown tip on its tail, and in 2012 reality shift happened, all traces of it disappeared. I honestly, do not remember that one. I remember a variant Pikachu having, like, there were some, bootlegs that did, but I don't ever remember it. I always remember it being on the bottom of his tail. I was, very much always drawing, Pikachu, always immersed in Pikachu-like media, so I have never considered the black tail tip. If you want to say blasphemy, that is up to you. I want to make sure we don't forget the cheeks. And I need to incorporate those a little bit cleaner. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not, like, focusing on my layers at all. I'm just sort of constantly adding layers on top and hoping for the best. I've just been adding and adding and adding layers. I'm just hoping I can get away with it. What are my thoughts on the new motorbike legendaries? I'm not... I don't know. I'm very much a fan of the part of Pokemon that is more timeless feeling, I suppose. I'm just like, God, hot take here. I'm just not really the biggest fan of all the modern parts of it lately. That's just my personal opinion. I really like the timeless part of it, and that's probably why I am such a Johto fan, honestly. But, yeah. And I get it, everyone's gonna say, like, oh, but we've had, object-based Pokemon since the beginning, and I get that, but, like, it feels different, okay? It feels different. I don't know how to explain it. Alright, how are we going to work with these eyes here? Trying to make sure these feel even enough. It evokes other franchises, so it feels weird. Yeah, that's a really good way of saying it, honestly. I couldn't even tell you exactly, like, which franchises in particular, but it just, yeah. I think that's a good way of saying it. The streams contain many strange starlight noises. Fair. Fair. Can't tell if the eyes are looking okay. I think this one needs to be shifted a little bit more. Maybe not. What needs to happen to this? Does it need to be bigger? Yeah, that works. I just looked them up. One of them has motorcycle wheels but doesn't use them to go noom. Yeah, very true, very true. I've been out of the Pokemon loop since Gen 2. I kind of like seeing all the new ones. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, it's to each their own. I understand that. I definitely do not share the opinion with that many people. A lot of people really like the direction it's going. I don't know. I personally like the more, non-object-based side of things. Magnemite and Voltorb were objects, but they were unique and had character. Yeah, Klefki, for sure. Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that's probably... I wouldn't be surprised if that's where they got it, from Breath of the Wild, just like I was saying with the food mechanics. It just seems to be a thing. Add motorbikes, you're saying, even if it doesn't make sense. I'm not sure I was that keen on it with Zelda either, to be honest. I mean, you know, it just doesn't make sense for its surrounding... I don't know, I'm curmudgeon-y like that sometimes. Also, hello, Armatox, how's everything going? It's gonna have to be a little less intense so that it doesn't get mixed up with the highlights, I think. Yeah, I think what it is like with the older generations, I was talking to someone about this earlier, is like they felt more dangerous. They felt more like really unknown creatures that you didn't know how to approach, and they kind of look like something you recognize, but also not really. And I say this as someone who has been in the toy industry, so you would think that I would prefer this, but I actually don't. The new ones, a lot of them feel like they're made to be toys. A lot of them just feel like they're sort of made to be merchandise. And it kind of gets rid of that sort of looming threat feeling. Which I think is what kind of made Pokemon feel so mysterious and adventurous. The legendary being so weird in Scarlet is what made me pick Violet. That is fair. Okay, and then let's throw in some more glowing because we just can't have enough, honestly. I probably won't even beat the game to get the legendary. Vesa, something tells me you get it super early on. Something tells me that it's like part of your journey with you. so I don't think you actually have to beat the game to encounter it. That's sort of the vibe I'm getting. Which, again, doesn't make it feel like a legendary. I think the legendaries would be fine if they weren't motorcycles. They'd be cool Aztec mythology legendaries. Yeah. And, like, if you could ride that too, that would be cool. I'm not on board with them as motorcycles. Alright, I'm gonna refine the hands a little bit here so we can actually see the details on the fingers. I can't say for sure. I don't work there, so I can't give you a perfect answer on that, but that's just, it's the impression I'm getting anyway. Alright, I want to clean up a little bit of the background still and finish this off and make it feel like it's coming to life a bit. Glowy Pika, yeah, indeed. Are we gonna have any shadow, or is there not really any shadow here because of how intense everything else is? I don't think there's actually gonna be a shadow. I think this doesn't have any shadows. Alright, I want to intensify this color a bit, make it less purple. Or, more purple, I mean, not less purple. And then I need to darken the sides here. Like, really darken them. So that everything else stands out more. And then go back to a very sharp color. Get in something here with the rocks and granite. It's not so much no shadow, it's more like it's bouncing throughout. It's like very, very confused shadow, I suppose. I'm not actually sure how I would describe it, now that I think about it. It seems you get a mostly functional one right out of the gate since you have full access to it even if you don't go for the badges. Remember, you're not forced to do the badges. Oh, that's right! It's like everyone can sort of do their own storyline. There's like multiple storylines to play with. That's gonna be interesting. I feel like there's still so much that we don't really know about it. Because everyone is sort of used to the badge formula, so a lot of people, I think, are going in a little bit more blind this time around. Which is interesting, you know? No one is really gonna know what to expect. So, it's definitely going to add some mystique to it. Alright, and I think I want to have a little bit of the little bit of the canyon here on the side, sort of going downward. A little bit on the other side here as well. Try to get something much more vibrant and kind of disappear into the darkness. A little hard to see what this is going to look like without the border, but I think we're on the right track. Need to push the dark here a little bit more so that the light is going to shine stronger. We never did get the Pokemon Digimon collab. That's true. They fight each other too much. Alright. That is definitely pushing through. I'm gonna add a little bit more dark pieces here to sort of break up the uniformity. Breaking up the uniformity of your environment is always a really useful thing to do. If you work with, like, game figures or something, it's the same sort of thing. Breaking up uniformity to add more interest. What am I saying? Game figures. Tabletop. If you do anything with tabletop, then you get what I'm saying. The fun streams are distracting you. Need to leave soon? Alright. All the best with work, Vessa, and thank you very much. I really appreciate you stopping by. Thornscale Grendel collab someday will burn down the entire multiverse and replace it with a single Wendy's. Well, I know one person who would be on board with the idea, at least. Also, I could definitely see you guys collabing because you both have sort of that same... I just see it working very well together. The backrooms need a Wendy's. Alright, now I think we can go for the fun part, which is probably cheating a bit, but that's okay. I'm gonna go again with our stupid glow dodges because we can. I keep saying cheating, but I know it's just like the tools that you can use in Clip Studio. I'm just saying cheating because, like, I wouldn't be able to do this with acrylic paint, for example. So I'm saying it in a little bit of a joking manner. Just to clarify, because I do say that a lot. Then we want to do this. Gonna go a bit crazier with the color here again. Make something that feels a little bit uniformly, or not uniformly, interesting. A little bit of difference with colors. Playing around with different aspects. And see if I want to have a tool that can do this, or if I could just grab it on my own. So I can always grab one of these here. Oh, make sure that we're doing this on its own layer. Adding a little bit of extra color. And one right here is probably good. Add those together. And then probably need to make smaller ones. See if we've got anything else that might be a little better for this. We can add a little bit more of an effect here. And that is something I can just grab from Clip Studio, so I am acknowledging that. But we just sort of want to have fun here. Make sure we're using that right, putting it in the places it needs to go. And then where is my... How do they do it with Charizard here? Do the same thing here with slightly smaller pieces. And then we'll add stars, and that'll kind of give us a bit of that background, what do you call it? I don't want to make them that big. Background dust particle effects, right? Have a little bit of our, so they're not, I'm using a brush for stars, but if we use these very sparsely, it kind of gives that little reflection. And we'll make a new layer, duplicate it, and blur the second version, so it kind of gives us a outward glow. And then I'll grab a few of those and add another glow to the edge here. Let's use reds and greens just to sort of mimic back to what we have with the balloons. Well, I'm not sure the green's gonna look that great. But just a little something on a few of these. Just to give it a little bit extra. And let's see if there's any last piece it needs. Although I think we're probably good here. I'm gonna make these dense, but I'm looking at how they do the piece for Charizard here. So let's try to do a little bit of a soft glow. Again. On the edges. Where his feet are. I might use this, I might not, I'm not sure. We'll see how over the top it is. Might be a little too much. But this is also what I see in the official trailer. So that's sort of why I'm testing it out. I see this has been a very edgy stream. Why do you say that? Why do you say that, Grendel? Because of all the edges. Gosh darn it. I should have seen that one coming. I should have walked I walked right into that one. I should have seen that. Alright. That might be too much. It works with Charizard, but I don't think it works here. So I'm gonna opt for something else. I'm gonna opt for something that makes a lot more sense in this context, I think. Is that gonna work, or are we gonna be... Alright, let's just go with a thick version then, here. Just want this in a few different places. And we'll use a soft eraser to soften it and make it feel like it's radiating out a little bit more and glowing. So I'm just sort of doing it in, painting it in very roughly at the moment. I want one right here on the balloon. These are sort of very chunky and obvious, but... I do think they add a good effect when used properly. I'm just gonna make them a little chunky and obvious in the beginning here. Where would another one go? Probably here is fine. And we'll grab our eraser and refine. Make sure we're not erasing the whole thing by accident, because that's very easy to do as well. Keep it strong on the edge here. It's actually hard to erase this because you want to make sure that you're getting it right in the middle, and if you, if it's a little bit off, it kind of looks like a little bit of a starfish type thing. So I'm trying to be wary of that as I work here. Nice Pikachu's so angry, is he in pain? It's like a fighting pose. It's like an intimidating, fighting stance encountering a wild animal. That's what I was saying, like, with the old, Pokemon, it felt more like you were encountering these wild creatures that could destroy you. And I think I sort of lose a bit of that lately. But that's the part that always sort of made the adventure, you know, feel super adventurous. What? How? How does that... How does that work? I think that's a very different style, isn't it? How did we get there? This isn't the first time that Pikachu has looked angry. In Pokken Tournament, he's got the same face. I'm so confused. It's just the eyes are well done and somehow borderline on... What? I mean, I suppose that's a compliment, but I'm not sure what to do with that info. It's because of the texture? Should I make it less, crystal looking? Is it too crystal looking? Is that it? The rainbow light around the edges is blowing my mind. I'll admit that that is a Clip Studio thing. I'm not gonna pretend that I, came up with that on my own. I won't lie. Alright. I wonder if I can create a, I don't know if this is gonna work or not. This is just a test. It might not work. We're just gonna test it. If I move this to an overlay, can that... Okay, there we go. That is exactly what I had in mind. We are overlaying a very deep color to make everything else, pop. Adds a lot of contrast because it darkens the darks and brightens the lights. I don't want to add that too intensely because I kind of like the purple. I might undo it a little bit, just because I want the intensity, but I also, don't want to lose the lighter crystal feeling. Maybe I'll just sort of do it around the edges. And then, I think I need a little bit of a a brighter color overlay on his face. That is probably a lot of what you guys are seeing when you say that it's, a little too, scary evil looking. I think the rest of the face needs to be a little bit brighter. Because otherwise it looks a little too much like a scowl, I think. So if I just eliminate the scowl a bit with some more crystal texture and probably soften that up. Hopefully that looks less creepy now. At least that's the intent. Whether I achieve that or not is another story. But softening it up should hopefully help with that. Add another, you know, like an anime character will add a little highlight on the nose, right? Like we've seen on different paintings and drawings of anime girls. Hopefully that helps add that adds a little bit more of a less intense look, right? I think so. I think that brings the intensity down a bit. Hopefully it doesn't make it look as frightening. Well, you guys tell me. Evil Pikachu is cool. I'm gonna try and train my Terra, Pika, and Violet to do war crimes. I'm not responsible for any Pokemon war crimes that may result as inspiration from this painting. That's my current disclaimer. And I'm sticking with it. See if there's anywhere else I need some, like, last-minute highlights or things. Gotta go and hit a business call with an artist of all things. Oh, that sounds interesting. I think we are just about done here, so go to your business call, Grendel. I wish you the best businessing with the artists. Hopefully not causing you any trouble. But yeah, I think we are just about done here. Just gonna clean that up a bit and put these shoulders here. There we go. Too good businessing. Yes, there you go. Ah. Yeah. All right. The triangles are tricky. They make you overthink things a little too much. 2 hours, 30 minutes. I think I'm gonna reorder my plans for the next few months and move up to taking an actual art course and moving to CSP. I would definitely love to help you with anything CSP related. Let's see if we can grab our base here. I'll say, selection from layer. Invert selection. And there we go. That would be the framing of it, which I think I probably need to adjust. I think I'm a little too close to the edge on the top here. Oh, no, just a little too zoomed in there. That is not too bad there. I'm not gonna lie, this turned out better than I thought it would. I'm actually, pretty happy with this. I think I need to do a few little tweaks here and there, but overall, I think this was a good, successful, fun stream. Got to experiment with a lot of different things. But yeah, I think we will call it here. Today is Tuesday, so our next stream will be Saturday. I think we will probably move back into, VTubers. Maybe not. Maybe I want to keep experimenting with this. I'm not entirely sure yet. Can I demonstrate a Pikachu war cry? No, I don't think I can do Pikachu. I think it's a little too unique. It never sounds right when people try to imitate a Pikachu. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by and saying hi and chit-chatting and acting crazy. It's always silly and fun to talk with you guys. And I will see you all Saturday. If you haven't yet, don't forget to follow on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, Stargazers.